Hello everyone. Today let us discuss what is a literary criticism, a topic from TYBA Special English paper Discipline Specific Elective, previously known as Special English Paper 4 of Savitribai Phule Pune University. Definition of literary criticism. Literary criticism is the study, analysis, and evaluation of literature. A literary critic helps the ordinary reader to understand the value of literature and hence to quicken and refine his or her response to literature. So, a critic is a person who is quickening or refining the response of a reader, and therefore the critic's role is very important. A very well known Victorian critic, Matthew Arnold, defines literary criticism as dissemination of art, disinterested endeavor to learn and propagate the best that is known and thought in the world. What he meant by disinterested endeavor is that the meaning of disinterested is that a critic should be disinterested in the sense he should not have any personal likes or dislikes about a particular author or about any particular work of art. He should be very much objective. Here, the meaning of disinterested means objective, not to be guided by the personal likes and dislikes, and that critic should always try to propagate what is the best in literature and what is the best in literature that is known and thought. A modern critic, T.S. Eliot, argues that the function of literary criticism is elucidation of work of art and correction of taste. What do you mean by elucidation? Elucidation means explanation or throwing more light on the different aspects of that work of art is called elucidation. And correction of the taste. Because an ordinary reader may have a particular taste for literature, but the role of a literary critic is creating a new taste among the readers. And whenever new literature or new forms of literature come into existence, the reader may not be prepared to read them, or the readers may not find them interesting. But if the critic brings interest in it, or the critic shows that how that particular work of art is interesting and shows the different beautiful things about that work of art, the critic is creating a taste among the readers. And therefore, according to T.S. Eliot, the function of literary criticism is elucidation of work of art and correction of taste. Another critic, Schreiber, according to Schreiber, the task of the critic is to distinguish between a good book and a bad one and help the reader to understand the full value of the literary work. So, the role of a critic is distinguishing between the books with high aesthetic value, the books with high literary value, and those of low, and to be able to make the reader to understand the full value of that particular work of art. Then there is another literary critic called Cecil de Levis. Cecil de Levis says that the preeminent task of the critic is easing, widening, or deepening our response to poetry. So, when we read a literary piece, we may find the literary piece very difficult, we may find the particular poem very difficult to understand, or we may understand it, but we may not have that depth, we may not have that much understanding of that particular poem or novel or drama, but the critic helps us to understand it easily. So the critic is easing our understanding, easing our interpretation of that work of art. He is also widening our response and deepening our response to the poetry. So that is the major role of a critic, to easing or to ease or to widen or to deepen our response to poetry. A critic also helps the ordinary reader to understand the value of that literature and hence quicken and refine his response to literature. The word critic is derived from a Greek word called kritos, and the Greek meaning of kritos is a judge. So the role of a critic is almost like a judge. What is the role of a judge? The role of judge is to be an objective, means to be very objective and not to be guided by the personal likes and dislikes. A critic should not be guided by his personal likes and dislikes about the author or a literary work. Then, literary criticism brings an expert's opinion to examine a piece of literary work. So, literary critic is an expert and he should bring his expertise in analyzing, interpreting literature. The critic uses his talent and training to identify the merits and demerits of a literary piece. So, a literary critic is trained, he is a trained person. In what sense he is a trained person? Because he has gone through several theories of literature. He has also read literatures of different authors, different regions, different languages, different genres, and therefore he has that particular training in interpreting the literature, and therefore his experts or the experts opinion in examining the piece of literary work is very useful. We all know that literature is interpretation of life through various forms of literary expressions. So literature is an attempt to bring life into literature, and criticism is interpretation of that interpretation. So literature interprets life and criticism interprets that literature, means it is interpretation of interpretation. If the task of writer is if the task of writer is to conceal the meaning of art, the aim of the critic is to reveal it. So it is often said that art, the true meaning of art lies in its concealing the meaning. And the aim of the critic is to reveal that meaning. So a literary critic is almost like a tourist guide who explores the beauty spots in the fields of literature to the ordinary reader. In short, explaining, unfolding, and illuminating the meaning of literary piece are the various tasks of the literary critic. Different types of criticism. There are different types of criticism like biographical criticism, psychological criticism, and sociological criticism. Biographical criticism is a form of criticism which analyzes a writer's biography to show the relationship between the author's life and their work of literature. Biographical criticism is often associated with historical biographical criticism, which is a critical method, and that critical method sees that a literary work chiefly is uh, chiefly is a reflection of the author's life and times. In that case, we can say that romantic poetry can be better studied by understanding the life of the poets. For example, we all know that William Wordsworth's Prelude is considered to be a biographical poem, autobiographical poem. That poem is basically considered to be an autobiographical poem. So, so we can say that romantic literature is mostly personal in nature. Then there is a psychological criticism. Psychological criticism in literature refers to the way in which a work of art of a particular writer is analyzed through a psychological lens. This approach psychologically analyzes the author's work of art or a character with the help of psychology. So, the ideas from psychology are used in interpreting literature, and it helps the readers to understand the motivations of the writer as well as the characters. The psychological approach provides a lot many clues in understanding Shakespeare's character Hamlet. We know that Hamlet is considered to be a very complex character, very difficult to understand, but a critic like Ernest Jones uses the methods from psychology to understand Hamlet's character in his book called Hamlet and His Problems. So, psychological approach to criticism or the psychological approach to the study of literature yields better results in interpretation if used very judiciously. Then there is a third approach called sociological approach. Sociological approach to criticism is directed towards understanding or placing literature in the larger social context. This form of literary criticism was introduced by Kenneth Burke, a 20th century literary critic. The literary texts in sociological approach are studied with a social perspective. The social context of the literature is studied or used in interpreting literature. In this approach, literature is considered to be mirror of society. We know that this is a very famous dictum that literature is mirror of society, and we often find that there are so many literary pieces, and particularly in 18th century most of the novels deal with the social life of that time in their literary pieces. So the many novelists captured the social life in their novels, and even we find that there are many plays, even poetry. The social life is reflected. A very well-known play, A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, is the best example that how social issues can be tackled in literary pieces, or how social problems can also be presented through the means of literature. For example, similarly, a play, very well-known play, Marathi play, Old Stone Mansion, which is Marathi title is Vada Cherebandi by Mahesh Elkunchwar, depicts the changing social order and degeneration of feudal order in Maharashtra. So this play also, in a very beautiful manner, captures the changing social life in rural Maharashtra. So we can say that literature is a way to capture human life, human experience in that particular literary form. And literary criticism is an attempt to understand how literature presents life, or what aspects of human life are presented in literature, and understanding literature from different perspectives is the major function of literary criticism. Thank you.